Welcome back to Footballology. So up next, we're going to be doing the 2022 Houston Texans roster, and we're going to be building that out and see what we can come up with. But first, we want to take a look back at their 2021 season and really see what they did to improve themselves going into the 2022 season, 22s. But looking at their season last year, 4-13, we all knew the Houston Texans wasn't going to be that team. Like we knew that they were going to be a team finishing the top five or going to have a top five draft pick nonetheless. David Culley, we once again, if anybody that was in tune with the NFL community, there's no way in hell you thought David Coley was going to be that guy. You didn't think he was going to be the head coach, and a long-term answer anyways. I thought he was going to be the fall guy as soon as they announced it. I thought it was a gimmicky sign, and it just wasn't a true signing of a head coach, especially with a lot of quality candidates still out there. So we scroll down, and we start looking at some of their stats and some of the things that they did last season. First off, the first thing that stood out to me was this. Their leading rusher was Rex Burkhead with 427. And, I mean, he had the most attempts and everything. And this is a team that had Mark Ingram for quite some time before he got traded. And then David Johnson as well. And then, Philip Lindsay. Like, they had some good runners that could have possibly ran for at least 700 to 800 yards. Granted, today's league is a pass-happy league, but you still don't want this. This is unacceptable for in the running back position. And that was something that I feel like definitely hurt them on offense. And that probably their biggest Achilles heel was their offense. Once again, look at their rushing touchdowns. Like 8 total rushing touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor outplayed the whole Houston Texans offense as far as rushing goes. That's just insane. And then so we come over to receiving. Once again, we look at the yards. They barely had a 1,000-yard receiver in Brandon Cooks. And then after that, it's just a huge drop off. And Nico Collins, who was a rookie receiver, was your next guy. So that's unacceptable as well. These are things that I think they have to vastly improve going into this offseason. For me personally, excuse me, sorry, for them to take that next level or take that next step. Because the thing that I liked about the Houston Texans, if anything, if we scroll down and we look, their defense was actually fairly competitive. I felt like they had a really decent and at least competitive defense. Not granted, not saying their defense was the greatest, but they didn't have crazy talent or anything, and I think this is where Lovie Smith really did a good job. They didn't have crazy talent or anything like that. They were just guys that were out there playing and honestly balling out and giving a lot of teams a run for their money. Look at this. This is some quality interception numbers right here, in my personal opinion. 17 total interceptions as a team. I like that. I'll take that any day of the week, especially for my defense. Now, granted, you want a little bit more, but they were creating turnovers. Desmond King, if you go back and watch my last year Houston Texans video, you can see I was saying Desmond King was probably one of the best signings that they had that offseason. Desmond King is a really underrated nickel, and I don't understand why teams don't want to lock him in for a long term. Me personally, but defensively, I thought the Texans were very competitive. They had a lot of good players out there, and they were taking care of business here and there, but they just didn't have the offense to really back them up. And then one other thing I want to look at before we move on was their passing. Now, when we go look at their passing, this was definitely Achilles heel too. Obviously, Davis Mills being a rookie quarterback coming in, Tyrod Taylor and his ups and downs and ebb and flows. You just didn't know what you were really getting from this quarterback position, and you could definitely see that hurt them a little bit. Hopefully, Davis Mills can actually take that next step, and I feel like they are confident in him because of some of the things they did this offseason. Speaking of, let's move forward. And then we come over here and we look at some of their free agent transactions. Now, when I was going down this list, not a lot of names jumped out to me. There was not a lot of guys that were like, oh, this guy's going to be a possible impact player. Kyle Allen, that's just kind of veteran signing for your for your quarterback, so you have that veteran backup. Fabian Monroe maybe a little bit couldn't give you quality play. Marlon Mack, we just talked about them not having the quality rusher, so maybe Marlon Mack can come in and give you a boost. Same thing with Royce Freeman, come in and give you a boost at that running back position. Jerry Hughes, I like him as a pass rusher. Him coming over from Buffalo, maybe give you a little bit more defensively, especially from an older side. Kevin Hogan, once again, just did they really sign him? It didn't say. It says not available. So, but AJ Cann, I can see that being a quality sign. I like AJ Cann as a guard. I think he's a pretty solid guard as well. So Steve Nelson, I'm not the biggest fan of Steve Nelson. I think he's an okay corner. Like I think they had Desmond King for 1 year and they didn't bring him back, which I question that mightily. This fullback, Djokovic, I think that's how you would say it. So him, obviously, I think that's a quality signing as well at the fullback position. But these are only like 1 year deals. So like once again, we're just kind of doing some filling positions, trying to see if these guys can really help us move to the next level, or at least give us an idea of what we're looking for. So this free agency period was very, very not unimpressive. Like that's the best way to put it. It was just very unimpressive. So then we move on to their draft picks, and so see if they can pick it up in the draft. Now this right here, this one will never sit right in my soul. because Sauce Gardner was there, and I had them getting Sauce Gardner, getting a long corner, and I try to make it make sense to me. Um, I don't think Stingley can be a Charles Tillman because I'm thinking like what Lovie Smith truly wants at the defensive back position, because he let go of some quality DBs this year too, but I'm not sure what he's seen in Stingley over Gardner, but he clearly thought Stingley was that guy. So getting Derek Stingley, I just question that so hard, but maybe there's something there. Jalen Patry, I think that was a pretty good signing at the safety position, a really strong signing. Now John Mechie, I don't know. I could see it. I mean, this is a good value compared to where people had him rated and what he was possibly or capable of doing. Teaming him up with like a guy like Brandon Cooks or teaming him up with Nico Collins and some of the other receivers they got there, we definitely understood that they needed a boost in the receiver position, and getting John Mechie is definitely going to help them out in that direction. Harris, I fucking love this signing or this pick. I think that's a good value in the third round. He's a good, strong linebacker. Put him in the middle of this defense, and Lovey got to have strong linebackers in his defense. Really, Lovey's defenses are always predicated off his front seven, and I think that's really what he was leaning into when some of these offseason acquisitions and trades he did, or draft picks and acquisitions as far as free agency goes. Thomas Booker, I did a little bit of research on him. I thought he was a pretty good defensive tackle. So, I mean, overall, this draft class, I like Kean Green. I definitely think that's another good signing or draft pick. But overall, I'm just like kind of, really. I'm just unimpressed altogether. Mainly because it felt like they created voids and then fix the voids that they created, and then fix the voids that were already there. Granted, you bring in Marlon Mack and Royce Freeman, and maybe have a good competition at the running back position, but that's really all you're gonna get, honestly. And then the coaching staff. I was looking at the coaching staff and seeing who they got. Pep Hamilton. I forgot all about my research on him now. I forgot where he's. I think he was in not St. Louis, but with the Rams at one point. Uh, Most recently. So I think he kind of has that passing game, and I think he was the passing game coordinator last year. So Davis Mills are probably really comfortable with him and the offense that they're going to possibly run. So that's really big. And I think Lovey's doing head coaching and defensive duties. So that's going to be really big too, because I think that defense is going to once again be a really high competitive defense. Granted, they don't have godlike stars on their defense, but I think the way Lovey is going to have those guys playing, that they're going to be playing at a high level always. Now we're going to come over here to my 2022 roster builder. And we got Davis Mills here at quarterback. I don't see anybody else competing with him for this job. Kevin Hogan, no. Jeff Driscoll, no. Kyle Allen, no. There's no way anybody in this roster going to compete with Davis Mills. And those are just veteran backups. I feel like Mills has definitely proven himself to be that guy that could possibly help the Texans get to the next level. And they felt comfortable enough to get rid of Deshaun Watson. To get rid of Deshaun Watson. So that's why they chose to do that or go that route. Then I put Marlon Mack in at running back because I don't see anybody toting the rock here outside of Marlon Mack on a consistent basis. Maybe they end up finding somebody through free agency once the preseason kicks off and everything and those things start to get rolling. Somebody might get cut, who knows? But I think realistically they just don't have anybody there for me personally that I feel comfortable with. And then we come over here to the left tackle position, and we're going to Lemry Tunsil. That's an automatic lock. No brainer there for me. And then Max Scarping at guard. I did video on Max Scarping, and I thought this dude was going to be a solid tackle, but they kicked him in the guard, and he's been playing pretty quality guard play for me personally. I think he's been a pretty good guard. So hey, if you're a Texans fan, let me know. And then we're going to come over here, look at our center position. It's probably going to be Justin Britt for sure. Looking at this roster, I think that's the only guy. Maybe Scott Quisenberry. Maybe Quisenberry is like a rotational guy, but I feel like Britt's really good. I'm a big fan of Britt, and so we'll put Britt in there. Now here's the interesting one. So we signed AJ Cann in free agency, but then we also picked up Green. Now so this is just going to automatically be a camp win. Whoever wins it out in camp is probably going to take the rock at that point. But then they also moved Titus Howard to guard too. I seen that, and that kind of threw me off too. So because I thought Howard was going to be their right tackle. Maybe that's where Cedric Obuye, I can't even say his name, but maybe that's where he comes into play. Maybe, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. But I think at this point, because we took Green so high, I think Green's probably going to win that job. AJ Cann becomes a swing guard and plays these three positions inside. Same thing with Scott Quisenberry. And then we come over here, and like I said, I think at this point, probably going to be looking at Cedric. and probably fit him in there. Because that's the only one. That's honestly the only name on here that makes sense to me. Myron Cunningham. If you guys know anything about him, let me know. Uh, if you know anything about Carson Green, any of these tackles, Charlie Heck. I know about Charlie Heck. I like Charlie Heck. I think he's pretty good. Um, maybe Charlie Heck. I don't know. So this is definitely this right side. As you can see, this right side is going to be up for grabs. I think these left three are going to be locked in. Left tackle, left guard, center. I think these are locks. But I think these two on the right are going to be up for grabs, and for people to come in and possibly win a starting job. Who knows? So then we scroll over. This is the most interesting position on the Houston Texans for me. So they got Brown here, which I like, and then Bevan Jordan, who's really kind of flashed a couple of times. I think Bevan Jordan wins that job hands down. So I'm gonna go Jordan there. I like him a lot. He's that new tweener tight end that can give you a little bit quality mismatches on a consistent basis. Come over to wide receiver. Now when we come to receiver, they got a lot of good receivers. I think personally. I think what we're looking at right here, obviously Brandon Cooks at the one, that's a lock, loaded, and ready to roll it. like there's no way we get beyond that or past that. So we'll come over to the slot. Now this is an interesting position, the slot position, because if John Mechie, I'm not sure if he's ready to go, but if Mechie's ready to go, we can put Mechie here. Chris Conley can give you some play here as well. I think Nico Collins automatically locks in at the 2 on the outside. I think you lock him in at number 2 receiver spot. And just for, shits and giggles and just say we did it, I like Johnny Johnson the third too. Don't sleep on him. But for, shits and giggles, we're going to lock in Mechie at the slot right there. And I think that's going to be my offense. And, I mean, realistically, looking at this offense, outside of the right tackle position I'm unsure about. Once again, if you know anything or you feel comfortable, I haven't done that a lot of research or depth to see if anybody's winning out or who looks good. And I know a lot of mini camps are starting up right now. So I don't know. But if you're a Houston Texans fan and you see this, let me know. Who do you think starts that right tackle position? Or who, does this whole offensive line front completely change? Let me know what you think. But we got Cooks at the 1 for sure. And then Mechie, I said, going to play the slot. I like Nico Collins on the outside over there too. And that's really going to lock in our offense. I think that's going to be a really clean, strong offense right there. And now, so when we come up to the defensive front, I think at this point, we're going to go ahead. We're going to play a 4-3. I can see Lovie really playing a 4-3. I think that's just a safe space. I think that's where he's going to feel the most comfortable. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up this defensive line position here. And we look at some of these defensive linemen they got. I think Jerry Hughes definitely starts for him. So we're probably going to lock in Jerry Hughes at this defensive end spot, whether it be left end spot. And then we're going to come in Mario Addison. Now, I don't know. I'm always indifferent about Mario Addison because I always feel like he should play on the interior because I feel like he usually quality to play on the inside. But Addison's a pretty good guy too. And then looking at some of these other names, like Derek Rivers. Derek Rivers, I had so much high hopes for him when he was in New England. So what we're going to do is I think we're going to go excuse me, because I know for a fact, I think we're going to go Mario Addison there. And I think Ross Blaylock gave them some quality snaps last season, so we're going to lock him at a defensive tackle position there. And then we're going to come over here, and we're going to lock in, I don't know, any of these Z tackles. Maybe Malik Collins. I think Malik Collins gave them some solid play last year. 1 second, let's go take a look. Let's go take a look real quick. Let's go look at their defensive guys up front. Can we sort? So here's some D tackles. We have Vincent Taylor, Rob Lopez. Okay, I didn't know Lopez. He got him a sack. He started a couple of games. Blaylock, okay, so I lied. Blaylock played in games, but he didn't start in games. Malik Collins. Okay, so based off this, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and lock in Roy Lopez. Oh, no, sorry, Robert. Roy Lopez. So we're going to lock in Roy Lopez over Blaylock. And we're going to go from there. And then I guess Blaylock is just a rotational guy. So that's what we're going to do. Just because of what I've seen there. These defensive ends are kind of questionable to me. And looking at some of the guys that are currently on the roster, maybe Jonathan, maybe he's going to give you some quality play. Harrison can give you some quality play maybe. I don't see any of these guys maybe jumping out like that and being that guy. Maybe, I don't know. Once again, that's another one of those positions that I think is clearly up in the air. They're not. These are, in my opinion, Mario Addison and Jerry Hughes are probably the best pass rushers they got on their roster right now. But I like this front right here for these four. And then moving to the linebacker position, I think Hill right here, but they have him at middle linebacker. So it's probably going to be, well, Hewitt's there too. I don't see Kirksey. starting, and especially if they're doing a 3-4 or if they're doing a 4-3. I don't see Kirksey starting. Um, I like Blake Cashman. I think he has good wheels. So we know Hill's going to start. We're going to put Hill a middle linebacker here. So that's going to be a lock loaded. They brought him back. I think they really like what he could do. And then what we're going to do is then we're going to come down. I think we're going to do Christian Harris here. And then we're going to come over here and do Jalen Reeves Maven. That dude's funny. I don't know why. This just made me chuckle for a second there. Maybe Neville Hood. Maybe this is where Hewitt actually gets in and plays, or maybe Cashman. But I'm gonna go with Hewitt. I think Hewitt can give you some quality play that did not want to come out. So that's what we're gonna do there. That's our front seven. I like that front seven. I think it's a really quick, strong, fast front seven. And Hill was actually all over the place. And I know Lovie likes to run some blitzes and things like that. But I really like this front right here for the Houston Texans. Moving on to the cornerback one, CB1, and looking. So Desmond King is still on the roster. I didn't realize they brought him back. So, okay, cool. We still got Desmond King. So we automatically know who our nickel is. I guess Stingley takes the 1. Because why not? I'm looking at this and I'm just not sure. And I'm not sure where Stingley is health-wise. But, for sake of argument, we're going to say Stingley's healthy and we're going to give Stingley the 1. And then we move to our free safety position. Looking at some of the free safety, Terrence Brooks. And that's MJ Stewart. Okay, so who gave them some snaps at safety? I know you guys are probably thinking like, this dude don't know shit. Like, okay, Brooks played some games. Eric Murray, okay. See, this is what I'm saying. Okay, so this is what I was saying. Like, they lost a lot of DBs this offseason. So I'm interested to see how they're going to replace some of those guys and really just really fill those voids. Honestly, I'm not sure. Looking at that, so I think Brooks, obviously free safety, he played a lot of snaps for them last year, right? No, he didn't. I just seen him on there. Okay. Who was I looking at? Eric Murray's not there. Justin Reed's not there anymore. That's challenging. I don't know. That's questionable. All right. For sake of argument, we're just gonna go with Terrence Brooks. Jesus, I need to do a little bit more research. All right, Graylin Arnold. Oh no, so this is going to be Petrie all day. So hold on, now Petrie, they have him listed as free safety. So maybe Petrie plays free safety, but I thought he was a better tackling safety. Huh? Okay. I don't know. All right. MJ Stewart's there. That's a possibility for sure. I'm pretty sure if you're a Houston Texans fan, you're probably yelling at me right now. See, I thought Petrie could play this strong. Okay, you know what? I'm just do this. You can yell at me in the comment section if you want to. Please do, because these DBs not making any sense to me. Obviously, our slot's going to be Desmond King without a doubt. Our nickel corner, I think that's a no-brainer for sure. Literally no-brainer. And then coming over to the CB2 and looking at some of these corners here, I don't like Steve Nelson. Sheffield's there, maybe. Tarrant. No, he's a backup guy. We already got Stingley in there. Yeah, Yondum, Isaac Yodum. I feel like I know how to say his name and it's not coming out. No, don't record videos while you're sleepy. I'm just telling you that right now. Yeah. So I think I just had his name in my head and it just disappeared. I think we're gonna go Steve Nelson just because he's probably the veteran. Maybe somebody beats him out for that job. I don't know. Like this is what I was meaning though. Like they lost a lot of DBs. They created that void and they kind of sort of filled the void. I don't like this secondary. I said the same thing about my Jaguars too. I like that secondary is questionable. I'm not seeing any kind of big time playmakers. I do like Desmond King. I will keep saying that because I think Desmond King is a beast, especially at that nickel position. But looking at this defense overall, I like the fronts on both sides. Actually, I like the offense completely. I think this offense got a lot better just because of experience and then also adding the talent. So, like, I don't know where Mechie is health-wise. I like Brevin Jordan. I think he's good. I think the development of Davis Mills is really going to show this year. Maybe adding in a Marlon Mack can really up that running game and give you some quality touches there from the running back position. Brandon Cooks, we already know what he's capable of doing. And I think the Mechie play makes Cooks more expendable. So maybe we might see a thing where Cooks maybe move and maybe we bring in a quality DB because even if they, let's say for instance, we get to the point where, all right, we lose Cooks, right? Just a hypothetical moment, real quick. Just follow me. We lose Cooks, and we bring in why did my brain just skip? Nico Collins at the 1, right? And then so we come over here and we probably move Mechie to the 2. So everybody just moves up 1 essentially. Well, actually, you know what? We leave Mechie at the slot, and then we pick Chris Conley there. And now, granted, we lost Cooks, but then maybe we can add another DB, maybe even a running back. So I think those are the 2 weak areas for me personally. Looking at this roster, the DBs, I'm not sure about. Obviously, Stingley's that go-to guy, Desmond King. So you got 2, but the safety position and Petrie's there, so maybe he'll give you some quality snaps too. So that's a strong possibility as well. And then, yeah, so maybe Cooks moves for like a pick and some action there, but that's the only thing I can truly see happening. Yeah, I like that. I like this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below about this lineup, because this one, once again, riding the struggle bus. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I actually like this. I think this is quality, in my personal opinion. But if you're a Houston Texans fan and you got questions and you really want to, tell me your concerns and say, hey, Mike, you messed up on this, fix this and this, and you'll be set. Let me know what you think. Like, I'm all for advice. I want to know. But I like this lineup. I think this is a strong lineup, and I think it can go far. So overall, looking at that Houston Texans offseason, I don't think they got better. I don't think they really moved sideways or just kind of stayed even or broke even. I think realistically they got worse as a team. Now, granted, I like the head coach they brought in, Lovie Smith, and hopefully he definitely gets those 3 swings that he deserves, because every coach deserves at least a minimum of 3 seasons. If he can get 3 seasons and Davis Mills can develop into the quarterback that they project him to be, I think that they'll be perfectly fine in about a season or 2. But this going into the season, I'm just not seeing this team or this roster being better than it was last year. I think the defense is still going to be highly competitive, and that's something that we got to keep our eye out on. But that's all I have for you guys in this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you're not a footballologist yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Go on and hit that subscribe button today, become a footballologist, and stay safe, football fans.